Hi, Dana here. Welcome to Sew Learn Create. I'm glad you joined us today. And if you like our content, be sure you click that subscribe button. Also, we have a Patreon page where you can support us with multiple tiers. And I have on my Etsy shop products for sale, but also sewing kits for a lot of the projects we have on the channel. For today's project, we'll be making a handy sewing kit. It's very small, so it'll drop in a backpack or a bag or your work bag if you do a lot of hand sewing. It has a tie closure. It has a place for your pens and needles, and then it has two pockets where it can hold some scissors and some other sewing products. So let's get started. For today's project, the sewing kit, you'll need the following supplies. You'll need a piece of batting that is 5 by 7. You'll need 3 pieces of fabric. You'll need 2 for your body of your project, and then 1 for your pocket. You'll also need a piece of felt that is 3 inches by 5.5 inches. And then you'll need 2 pieces of ribbon that are about 9 inches long. And you don't want your ribbon to be real wide. You want it to be less than 1/2 inch wide, or the narrow. And you can also use felt instead of batting on this project because it's something that you're not going to wash. And I'll put the sizes in the description so you can take notes of it that way if it's easier. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our pocket fabric and we're going to press it where it's nice and flat. It's always best to start with your fabric as flat as possible. And then we're going to fold it in half, what I call a hot dog style. So it's very long and skinny. And this, when you fold a piece of your pocket, when you fold it in half, then it lines your pocket on the inside of it so that when you sew it all together, you don't have to do an edge up here. So it's just a real easy way to get a lined pocket on a project. When we go to the machine, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stitch across this pocket to reinforce it. Because anytime you have a pocket and you put things in and out, there's a lot of stress here. So over time, especially if you're working with cotton fabric like I am, it'll tend to stretch over time. So if you top stitch that, it reinforces it and makes it last a little longer. So let's go to the machine. Now we're ready to top stitch the top edge of our pocket just to reinforce it. So I'm going to put it under my presser foot, and I'm going to use the inside edge of my foot as my guide, and that makes a very narrow stitch, and I'm using just a straight stitch. So I've top stitched the folded edge of that pocket. The next step is I'm going to take 1 piece of my body fabric and I'm going to put my pocket on top, lining up my raw edges. So my folded edges here in the middle and my raw edges are lined up. And I'm going to clip that in place because I'm going to base this pocket to this body fabric, and that way when I stitch everything together it won't shift on me or turn up or something like that. So I'm going to start here on this side and I'm going to go all the way around and stop right there. And again, I'm going to use the inside edge of my foot because I want a narrow seam so this basting stitch doesn't show when I put my project together. I'm just going to start and go all the way around. When I get to the corner, I want to make sure my needle is down, lift my presser foot, turn my project, and make sure everything lines back up with the inside edge of that foot. And I'm going to do a back stitch right here at the top. You don't have to do that, but that just reinforces it one more time. So now our pocket is basted to our body fabric. So we'll go back to the mat for the next step. Now we're going to assemble all our layers. So you want to start with your batting, or if you're using felt, that would be what you would lay first. So your batting goes down, and then I like to put the piece where my pocket is basted in place next. Then you're going to take your ribbon, and you want your ribbon to be above where your pocket is. So just be sure that you put it above your pocket, not down here. So you put it here. And you want that face up, I believe, if you're using a ribbon that has a one side. And I'm going to put a clip there to kind of hold that in place before I lay everything else. And I like to just kind of tuck it underneath that pocket, the end, so that when I'm stitching all the way around, this doesn't get caught on anything. And then I want my other ribbon to just go directly across from that. And again, I'm just going to clip it in place right now. Take the end of that and just kind of tuck it in the middle of my pocket, just making sure that it's way far away from the bottom edge here. Then you're going to take your other body piece and lay that face down. And you're going to clip it all the way around. I am going to use we're going to leave an opening down here at the bottom, and I'm going to use my red and green clip system. So this is where I would stop my stitching, and the green clip tells me where I'm going to start my stitching. So I'm going to leave just a little opening down here. It doesn't have to be very big, but you do want it about 2 or 3 fingers width. That's usually what I try to do. And then I'm going to clip all the way around all my layers together. And I like to clip or pin because that way things tend to turn out better and I don't have anything shift on me when I go to the machine. And if you notice the one where my ribbon is, I'm leaving that just clipped to the ribbon and not all the layers. So when we go to the machine, we're going to start here, go all the way around, stop our stitching here, leaving this small opening. So let's go to the machine. Now we're going to stitch all the way around, starting here at our green clip, stopping at our red, and leaving this small opening. So I'm going to take my green clip off, and I'm going to now use the full width of my foot, and that way my stitching line will be here and it will not show that basting stitch. It'll be covered up inside the seam allowance. So we're going to go all the way around. Again, when I get to my corners, I'm going to leave my needle down, lift my presser foot, turn my project, being sure that I line up everything nice and straight before I start stitching. Now this clip is my ribbon, so when I remove that one, I'm going to put my finger there to make sure that ribbon doesn't kind of slip on me. And again, here's my ribbon, so when I remove that clip, I'm going to put my finger there just to keep that ribbon in the right spot. My last turn, I'm going to take my red clip off, and again, I use my finger as my reminder of where to stop. Now we've stitched all the way around, we'll go back to the mat for the next step. Now we've stitched all the way around and I have an opening right here at the bottom. Now when I stitch something like this, I like to flip it over and make sure that I caught everything on both sides. And you can see right here where my batting tucked under a little bit, but as long as it's caught right here, I'm not going to trim any of this away, it should be fine. Then the other thing you want to do before you turn it right side out is clip your corners. And the reason for that is to reduce the bulk that you have in those corners, and then they'll turn out a little straighter and more crisp. And down here at the bottom where your pocket is, you're clipping all of that fabric. So just be sure you kind of go slow. And you notice that I'm not going anywhere close to my stitching. I'm cutting on the diagonal away from my stitching line. You do not want to cut your stitching. Get all those corners cut. Then I'm going to take it and turn it right side out. So I just kind of tuck my hand in there, go to a corner, poke it through on my thumb. That gives me a good chunk to kind of grab a hold of. And turn it slowly because you don't want to rip out your stitching at the bottom. And then I like to use a chopstick to poke out my corners, because if I use my scissors, you run the risk of poking a hole in your fabric because it's sharp. And then you just take that chopstick and kind of work that corner out, and they turn out nice and crisp. And you just kind of move your chopstick back and forth in there. And then I like to take my chopstick and kind of run it down my seam lines. And then that makes my seams lay flatter so that when I top stitch, it works nicely. Then before we go back to the machine to top stitch, we want to make sure that this bottom edge is turned in, and we want to press that. And press your whole project where it's nice and flat. Then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to fold this in half. And I'm going to run my iron down that center line. And what this does is it helps me find the center, so when I put my felt stitched in, then I know I can line it up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of lay that felt in place, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball to where it's even. And I'm just going to put a little mark right there at the top and the bottom so that it will be underneath the felt. I won't see that, but then when I put my felt in place, I can line it up easier at the machine. And I'm going to do the same thing to find the center of my felt. I'm going to fold it in half and iron on the fold. And now I have my stitching line, so it'll be nice and straight. So when we go to the machine, we're going to top stitch all the way around, and that does two things. It closes up our opening here at the bottom, but it also makes all of our fabrics lay together nicely. So let's go to the machine. Now we're going to top stitch all the way around, and we're going to start just above our opening right here at the bottom. And because we're top stitching again, I'm going to use the inside edge of my foot as my guide. And we're going to go all the way around. And when you're top stitching this pocket, you're going through a lot of bulk right here, so just kind of go slow. And again, when you get to the corner, put your needle down, lift your presser foot, and turn your project. And when you get close to this ribbon, you want to make sure that that ribbon is out here and not tucked on top or underneath. You want to make sure it's pulled nice and straight so you don't stitch it down. Turn, get our ribbon lined up. And then when you're coming this direction from your pocket, you want to make sure that your pocket doesn't turn on you. So I like to stitch, get it close to the edge, And then I lift my presser foot and make sure my presser foot catches that underneath. And then I just kind of go slow so it doesn't shift on me. Then our last turn, and we're going to go right over the top of this stitching where we started and back stitch to lock all that in place. Clip our threads. And now we've top stitched all the way around, and we're going to add our felt to the center. And remember, I made 2 lines right here on the body of my project, and then I have my folded felt so I know where my center is. So I'm just going to line those up so I can kind of pull up and see this line here that I made with the pencil, and the line at the top where I made with the pencil, and the folded area there on the felt. Then I'm going to line this up, and I want to sew down this folded line, so I'm going to make sure my machine has a little raised part right here where it shows me the center of my foot where my needle is. I want to make sure that that lines up with that folded crease. I'm going to start with my needle down just inside that felt. I'm going to stitch, back stitch, and then go all the way down. It does help with thread in the machine. Just going down that folded crease so it makes it kind of straight. Then I'm going to back stitch. I'm going to go off the edge and back stitch here at the bottom to secure it. Now our felt is in place, and that also divides our pocket. So let's go back to the mat for the last step. Now we've finished our project and we just are ready to fill it. So the felt has 2 sides, 2 pieces. So I like to put my needle on one side and put pins on the other side. And that way I have them divided and organized. And then I have 2 pockets. I have a front pocket and a back pocket. So you can decide what you want to put in there. This is big enough to have a small pair of scissors in the back pocket or the front pocket, and these scissors I got at Dollar Tree, so I put those in there. And then I like to carry, when I do handwork, a needle threader, and then it has room for if you wanted to put some thread on a embroidery card to carry with you. And then also I put safety pins on this little card and tucked it in the pocket, or you could also put your safety pins pinned over there. So fill up your little sewing kit, fold it over, and tie it to close. And now our sewing kit is complete. I hope you liked today's project, the sewing kit. So, see you in the next one.